Ever since I moved into this apartment, I've called it the Island. The first day that I moved in, I took a Bluetooth speaker, set it up on the counter before I'd opened a single box, and played I Am a Rock by Paul Simon. And just thinking about being an island in this life that I was leading, that I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know where I had come from or what my destination was. But knowing that, like, in that moment, that apartment could be that island. It could be a place I could survive. And that idea has stuck around for a long time. Over the course of the time I've been here, I've put out a lot of music. I've put out 3 albums, a couple EPs, singles, stuff that I wrote. I've put out a ton of videos, things that I made here. And what you're seeing now is just a compilation of all of the different projects that I've worked on, all the different times I've set the camera up in here, in the island, just to get something down, an idea or a song, or to film myself for a behind-the-scenes video or for a music video or some idea. So the whole time that I've lived here, I've felt like I've been working on something, and it was a series of other projects. I had a lot of albums and songs and videos and things that I made, but then in the background of all of that and the undercurrent of this entire 12 or 13 or 14 months that I've been here has just been other miscellaneous music. There's been, at this point, what is now 22 songs that just didn't fit with anything else that I was making. There was never enough of them that felt like one thing to make an album, but they kind of fit together thematically, and so I put all of them together. I decided to kind of bundle them up, and really had a challenge in how to not market it, but how to label it, how to put it out there, because I thought about doing something that was, branded as sort of like releasing everything off my hard drive, putting it out as just like I'm dumping this out all randomly, and the way that it's messy is kind of the appeal. But I've seen artists do that, and I just don't feel that it works that well. So I want it to be listened to as a somewhat chronological journey through my music production and writing over the course of the time that I've lived in Seattle, and in this apartment specifically. 100% of these songs were written and recorded in this apartment, which is, a crazy thing. And there's still music that is not released, that's done, quite a bit of it, but that stuff is a little bit more structured and has a plan, and I know that it all fits together on some sort of project or EP or album. So this stuff is all songs that didn't fit anywhere else that now fit on this thing. The structure is 22 songs. It's essentially 5 sort of EPs together. It's 5 discs, if you want to call it that. A few of which are 4 tracks, and then a few of which are 5 tracks. The easy way to distinguish that is by the titles. You'll see in the track listing for the album that there's sort of a structure, a chronological structure to those, and then that's a thematic structure as well. So I would title them based on the fact that those 4 or 5 songs sounded kind of similar. They were in the same sonic space, or they felt like they were on one project. And so I put them all together and made them something that, like, if you listen to it linearly, if you start with The Island, which is the song you heard at the beginning of this video, and you listen all the way through, you're going to get an interesting progression of style and genre. And so you're going to get something that kind of morphs in sound. If you hit shuffle on it, you're just going to get sort of like the random assortment of different sounds I was working with and trying to figure out. And then if you choose, you can listen to each section on its own. So you can go to the section that's sort of all caps, 3-word titles. So Upper East Side, The Great Escape, Method or Madness. You can listen to those and you'll get one experience. Or you could sort of scroll down the album and listen to the titles that are just a single word. Blue and Go and Snap and those songs. So the idea is that you can listen to this and sort of get any experience out of it that would be helpful to you. Anything that you feel from the songs. There's more songs like that somewhere in there. So this is also part of, for me, the process of figuring out what the goal is for releasing new music over the course of all of the future time that's coming up. I don't really know what it looks like for me. I've thought about kind of closing the chapter on More Haste, Less Speed. I've thought about having something else that exists to the side because there's just things in my life and style changes that I want to make, and it's tough to see what it is that I could do from now on. But to me, the most important thing and one of the biggest priorities has always been putting out the music that I make, even if I don't feel that it is being received by any sort of audience, small or large. Just having it out there. I don't want to fall into what I've seen so many artists, so many very talented artists do, that is just fear of putting something out that's not perfect, because nothing is ever perfect. I would rather people over time be able to say, wow, this guy is, prolific, he's got a lot of stuff, and a couple of them are really good, rather than never put anything out or be super selective, and then the stuff that might be great and I just need other people to hear it never gets out there. I don't think I'm the best judge of quality. And oftentimes when I've played the songs from this album, The Island, or this project, I guess, when I've played these for people, the ones that pop out to them are the ones that I would not have expected. The ones I think, oh, that's kind of a throwaway. I'm surprised that, that one sticks out as a fun song to you. And so it's just an exercise in that and just getting it all out there, giving myself sort of a reset point. There is, after this, somewhat of a plan. There's a loose plan because there's one full album that's done, but then past that, that is everything. That is everything that I have written as More Haste, Less Speed, and I don't know what happens after that. I have some ideas, I have some potential projects, but it's the first time ever that I am at a stopping point. I'm at a point of, deciding what I want the future to be for my music and how it is written and how it's recorded and all of those things. So it's going to take time, I think, to figure out what exactly I want to do with it and to figure out what direction it's going to go. But instead of starting from like, okay, now I have to close this chapter and put out these 4 albums I've written, it'll be starting from like, what do I want to do next? What is the thing that I want to do? And then when that is done, I'll do the next thing. And that's how I want to work going forward. I it's been tiresome to me over the course of the past almost 5 years to have this large delay in time where I make something and then a huge amount of time goes by. At this point, the stuff that's coming out on the island, some of these songs are, almost a year and a half old. And I feel like I listen to them as a listener who doesn't even remember writing them. And to think that in that time, like Cold Weather and Surface of the Moon and Play a Little Tune and Center of the Universe and Honeybee and all this other music came out. And I wrote and recorded and released all of that music. There's stuff on the island that it's like, it's just so kind of foreign to me that I am sick of that. I don't want that feeling. I want to work on a project, get it to where it's done, and then put it right out, and it be this sort of closed library of stuff, and not have a huge back catalog of things. So that's a long-winded way to say I'm not sure exactly what the next steps are, but this is something that I'm really proud of because it has all the elements of my recorded music and what I've done, and it even though it's 22 songs, even though I feel like it's this like inconveniently long and large thing, it can just be listened to straight through. You can put it on. You are going to go from one destination to another in the journey of this album. And so I want people to be able to do that. I want people to put it on, soak it in, get the entire experience, and I hope understand what it's like to live in this apartment. So that's all. This is just some context, just some thoughts. I really wanted an excuse to compile all of the footage here from the entire time that I've lived in this apartment. I mean, I think you can see it's a well-loved space. This place has been just a beautiful thing to participate in. Like, just living here feels, so kind of the universe or whoever put me here. It feels like a gracious gesture for me to be able to be here in this apartment and be able to have expressed myself artistically to the extent that I have. I did not think that really ever was going to be in my future, and so it's cool to see that is the case, and to be able to look back on it, to be able to have this footage and this music. And even though it is sort of a closed canon, there's not a ton of other stuff. This is all of it. It's still great to feel this and see this and to soak it all in. So that's all. I will leave you with those thoughts, and I will see you on March 14th, 2025 for the release of The Island by More Haste, Less Speed, the first, probably not last, album of the year. All right. Thank you for watching. This is great lighting. Like, I crushed this shot, too. Oh, my. Okay. Anyway.